Everybody, Ralph Havens here, and happy Monday. So, um, I was thinking today, where does money come from? Where does money come from? You know, when you ask a lot of people, when I ask a lot of people, when we ask a lot of people, me and Jen, what they want, for some reason, there's two camps. You know, it's like there's the people that want to make a lot of money, and there's the people that want to do a lot of good in the world. And a lot of times they connect, like the people that want to make a lot of money want to do a lot of good, and the people that want to make do a lot of good also want a good life, you know. And sometimes they're hesitant to talk about money, but when it comes down to it, as we talk to them and kind of dial in, what do you want really? Money would help a lot. And so, where does money come from? You know, one of the things that I've noticed that takes all the pressure off of entrepreneurs and healers and coaches and people trying to do good in the world and trying to get their work out to the world. One of the things that takes the pressure off is to not try to go get money from somebody, not in a kind of just get it for getting sake, you know, like how do I sell something that somebody will buy. It's more like this. Try this out, and I'm going to show you a way that we use with our clients to very quickly dial this in. And we've been seeing some really cool results, like people that were stuck at a dollar amount per month, and then they worked with us and cleared some of this stuff that I'm going to talk about, and they sevenfold increased their month revenue, and stuff is starting to shift in other parts of their life. So there's I'm noticing even people that are I'm following some influencers, I guess you call them, people that have done a lot of good in the world and make a lot of money. And as I follow them on Facebook and in their different YouTubes and stuff, they're still dealing with some inner angst that's driving them. And even though they've made a lot of money, and but here's the thing. Here's what I've noticed, and here's what I have for you. Think about it this way, if you like. Money comes from value, from providing value so people can get what they want. So it takes the pressure off of an entrepreneur or a healer or a coach. Money comes from providing value so people get what they want. And now, where does value come from? Value, of course, comes from creativity. You know, like you kind of sit there and go, it comes from spirit. It comes from inspiration. Like, oh, this is what people really want. And this is what I can do for them. I've got something that I've solved something, you know, solve something for yourself or your family or your kids. And it's like, I can provide this. This is what they want, you know? So creativity is allowing spirit to flow through you, to come through you. It comes from, and so how do you do that? How do you connect up with spirit and creativity, especially if you're really, really busy or you're working, you know, 60 hours a week, or you're working at a job that you don't like, or you've got all sorts of things that you got to take care of that are just like taking all of your time and energy. How do you tap into spirit or creativity or this inspiration? What I've noticed is you've got to clear your mind and your emotions. There's this, what do I mean? Like, why would that help? Your inner pain, you know, the mental, the emotional anguish, the stuff that happened in the past, healing from your past is key. And, you know, I just finished 40 hours of deep meditation, doing what I'm going to show you in just a minute, and with people from all over the world, 514 people from all over the world. And stuff changed. And what I know, and it's what I've been using for years to help people. And so I really dialed it in. 40 hours, I could have been doing a lot of other stuff for 40 hours. And it was over 40 hours. Turns out about 48 hours over a 4-day period. And and um and what I noticed is the world is different. And what do I mean by that? Well, I had some really cool miracles show up where I connected up with people that are runners that are like really my kind of people, and it's like, oh my god. And they weren't it was like so much just like living like the old days, like not worried about all this this stuff that's going on, and they were just having fun running, and we had a great time. And so I've got a new group. And then Jen went to our food, the place we get our food from, and there was beyond no hassles. They actually seemed confused that she was asking them, could she walk in the store? Because she wasn't wearing a mask. And and they just let her in, and it was all like, she was like, whoa, things are different. And there's been other things that have shown up this week where I'm trying to think what else showed up right now, but some people were talking about very, very, very charged things to us about the lockdown and about the whole thing that's going on and what to do. And they were dealing with lots of angst and big, big questions and dilemmas of what to do. And there's a lot of stuff coming up right now. I don't have to tell you what that is over the next few weeks, but they had big decisions. But in the old days, we would have tried to reach out and try to convince them of our idea of how to keep their health and be careful about this and be careful about that and all the stuff around the lockdown. But they didn't ask us, and they didn't seem interested in our opinion. But we were watching them, and they were going through a lot of mental and emotional pain, trying to it was like they were trying to convince us that what they were going to do was okay. And we just sat with it, and we weren't charged. And if they reach out to us, we'll give them some advice if they want. But that was different. So when you do this inner work, it creates a space. And then that allows your friends and your family and your clients and your potential clients to come into that space. And it also allows you to be guided by spirit to get the inspiration of how to be creative, of how are you going to provide value to people, whether it's provide value to your friends or your family or your coworkers or your clients or your potential clients. How are you going to do this? So what happens is when you clear the fear and the anxiety, all that stuff that's the mental trash, the emotional trash, the stuff that creates imposter syndrome, it's like, oh, who are you? Who am I to do something big in the world? The stuff that gets in the way, when you clear that in a very specific way, I'm not talking about a mind hack. I'm not trying to say just relax or meditate or try to be calm or try to change your beliefs. It's quite different. But I'm going to show you when you clear that, it creates a space. And what shows up is inspiration, and you get very creative. Now you got to have space in your schedule to have a little space. So that's a whole nother question of what we can use to help you. But clearing the inner stuff starts to unlock a lot of doors. And so I'm going to take you through one of the processes. We have a few processes, 3 that I'm thinking of right now that I use with every client, because this is the stuff that gets in the way. You can have a lot of stuff that to do in business and life and keep trying to use courage and tenacity, but this is the stuff that makes it why sometimes it doesn't work and why sometimes it works really big. So the process is this. Think of what you want to create, and this is one of 3 processes that I'm thinking about that we use every day. Message me if you want to know about the other ones. I'll give you a link to have access to that stuff. So think about what you want to create, and think of having it even right now. If you just had it, if it just happened, just magically appeared and didn't even have to work for it. Think about what you want to create and think about having it. Now you think it would feel really good. So you might check, how does it feel when you think about having what you want? And then go through this process, if you like. What's happening in your body? What's happening in your body? Be present to that. Notice the most intense part of that. Tune in even deeper to that. Now, this is a process that's been called many things, it's called Peace Process by one of my coaches, Christian Michelson. And we were doing 40 hours of this and other things connected to this way of shifting inner stuff, the inner mental, emotional, spiritual pain that's in the way, the real stuff that's in the way. Now, when you when you do this, and you really do this, and if you don't do this, it doesn't work, of course. But if you do this, something starts to happen, and you get inspiration, and you get creative. Now, the other part is then you got to take action. That's the part in the spiritual world, like the healer world. A lot of people want to just get it for free, but then they get the inspiration of here's how you can do it, and they're like, oh, I don't want to do any work. So there's some action to be taken. Now, if this sort of thing makes sense to you and you want to go deeper with it, now is the time. We're at a crazy time in history, and these challenges can lead you right to the mental, the emotional, the spiritual angst, spiritual pain, the mental, emotional trash that's in the way of you getting what you really want in life. And if this is where if you'd like to dive into this, I made a video for you. You can get it at ralphhavens.com/crush imposter syndrome. ralphhavens.com/crush imposter syndrome. And I named it that, I feel, because that stuff that's in the way isn't really you. It's like a fake you. It's not really you. What really is you is the spirit. And so this is a way to connect to that. And if that's interesting to you, if you want to really go deep with it, I made a video training for you and some information for you of how to do this. And it's at ralphhavens.com/crush imposter syndrome. All right, you guys, have a great day. I'm about to start my work day, and I will see you. My hair is like standing up. I will see you all very soon.